Hello? Right, right. I'm just proceeding ahead, writing a simple Java program. So my intention is to calculate the area of the rectangle. So this is my purpose. So a Java program to calculate the area of the rectangle. So I'll write two ways of calculating this area of the rectangle by using the Java program. So as usual, which we have discussed the structure of the Java program. In structure of the Java program, the first one is documentation section. So in this documentation section, I just mentioned a comment, that is I am writing a Java program to calculate the area of the rectangle. Then goes package section. As of now I am not declaring any package over there. Then import section. I am not importing anything as of now because all the things are given by JVM in my simple program. Then declare a class. I give a name rectangle demo. So class open, close. Inside the class, so I'm going to write a main method, public static void main, string args. Yes. And this is the main method. And let me change the language to Java so that the syntax get highlighted in Notepad++. Yes, here goes. So in my main method, I am going to calculate area of the rectangle. To calculate the area of the rectangle, we need two things, that is length and breadth. So we need length and breadth. So I declare the length and breadth. So declaration. So length, breadth. So I declared here. Just writing length and breadth like this is not enough. So we need to mention what data type are they. So as of now I take length, and breadth also I mention it integer. So integer length, integer breadth. Okay. Then calculate area. So how do we calculate area? So the calculate area using length into breadth. So this is how we calculate area of a rectangle. So calculate the area of the rectangle. So length into breadth gives the area of the rectangle. Now, whatever the result given by length into breadth, I have to store them in a container. So this container is nothing but area. So length times breadth, both are integer. Integer times integer, the result would be integer. So this container area which holds length times breadth should also be of integer type. So that is why the result I stored here in integer data type. Now I got the result. I should display it on the console. So system dot out dot println. So system.out.println inside this. So we write using double quotes. The area of the rectangle is nothing but this area. I mean the result which we got here. So here I am going to display this message along with that followed by the result area. So in Java we are going to join this message and this result, concatenate we call it as. We can do that using plus operator. So that's it, the program is done. And for length and breadth, let me supply some values. 10 length and breadth 8. So I am done. Now I am going to save this program. To save this program, copy the class name, save this. I am going to give the name here rectangle demo. Then click on save. So you can see this program is saved in this folder D test rectangle demo. Now I need to open command prompt. So let me show you in the folder. Test folder. So here, this is my program. And observe that I am going to compile my program. So before compilation, I need to go to the path where my program is located. So it is in the drive. Then change directory to test. Then Java C. I am compiling the program. Java C rectangle demo. Java. I am compiling. If there are any errors, it will show the errors, and if no errors, compilation gets success. And if you observe here, a dot class file is generated. Now I am going to execute this program. Java space the program name, hit enter. The area of the rectangle is 10 times 8, that is 80. So if you go back here, so length times breadth area is being displayed. So this is how we write a program calculating the area. So this is the main task in my program. I have put that task inside this main method. JVM starts executing this program from this main method, declares two variables, process this, display it. So we know modularization of a task, that is splitting the logic into methods. I have stuffed this logic in main method itself. There is a provision of separating this in another method also. I am going to show you the same program by separating this in a different method. So what I am going to do is I am going to open new notepad tab, and what I'll do is I'll copy this program and make changes accordingly, and you just observe. Let me change language J for Java so that the syntax get highlighted. So now what I'll do is, this is my main method which begins here and ends here. Outside this main method, inside the same class, I am going to write a method calculate area. So calculate area. So inside this method I am going to put all this logic. So observe there, I am just cutting all these portion. Cut, paste here. That's it. Now in my main method what I am going to do is call the method calculate area. Yes. So here this main method starts execution, and here I'm going to calculate area, invoke the method. So how do we invoke? We just mention the method name and a semicolon, and observe here main method is having a keyword static, and this method also should qualify with static. I'll tell you the reason soon. So as of now it should be like this. I'm deliberately skipping this just to show you a compilation error on command prompt. Now what I'll do is I'll rename this to rectangle demo 1 because I already have a rectangle demo in the same path. I copy this, save this, paste here, save. So I got this program. Now on command prompt I'm going to compile this program. Java C rectangle demo 1 dot Java. Observe that it will show some compilation errors. Read the error message. Rectangle demo 1 dot Java at line number 12. So line number 12 here in line number. You can see there is line number. At line number 12 there is some mistake, some syntax error. Non-static method calculate area cannot be referenced from static context. So what my JVM is saying, if you observe here, main method is qualified as static. Of course, its signature is static. So it means this is a static member. And calculate area does not have a keyword static here. It means it's a non-static member. Do remember simple difference between static member and non-static member. Static members belongs to class, non-static members belongs to object. I already told you Java is an object-oriented programming language and we create objects from classes. So here static members belongs to class and non-static members belongs to object. I will explain you in detail about static in our upcoming sessions. For now, we just have a picture that main method is static, of course, by signature. And static members can access only static content. This is the rule actually. So calculate area is a non-static, so it is unable to access. I need to qualify it with static. So this is a blind rule as of now. Just remember this rule. I modified the program code by adding the keyword static to calculate area, and then I am invoking that calculate area method from my main method. So when you change the program code, save this program, go back to compilation, up arrow, it will show the recent command executed on command prompt, and then hit an enter key. Done. Compilation done. Then execution. So if you hit another up arrow, you can see it is executing the recent commands. Similarly, another up arrow, so it is showing a rectangle demo at the previous execution. Let me add one over there because my program name is rectangle demo 1. Hit an enter key. Yes, I got the result now, 80. So what is happening? The program execution. So let me explain to you. Whenever we execute the program, JVM launches into main method first. From main method, it executes all the statements one by one. When reaches this statement, JVM try to bind the code present in this method. So it will search for this method in the class. It got this method code. Now it executes this method code statement by statement, declares length, breadth, then computes length times breadth, stores the result here, then displays it. So this is what happens, and my calculate area is displaying the result 80 here. So is that okay? Any queries as of now?
No, it's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Then so this is calculate area method having void return type. Similarly, when explaining in my previous session, I told you about the return type of the method. So what I'll do is, I'll make changes to this program by mentioning the return type for this calculate area method. So I'll go create another tab. So what I'll do is, I'll copy this piece of code, paste here, and language Java, and here, so what I'll do is, I'll mention in comment writing the task in a separate method. So method with void return type. Similarly, I'll write a comment here just to be more clear why we have written 3 programs and doing the same task. So writing the task in a separate method using int return type. Observe that I am making some changes to the program code. Now same main method invoking rectangle area, that is calculate area, the JVM gets here, so I am changing it to int. So when I changed the return type of calculate area method to integer, observe I need to have a return statement here. Is must. So what I'll do is return. What to return? The area is calculated here. This area is to be returned. So I copy this and return here, semicolon. And when it is returning, I don't need this statement here as of now. I cut that. If you observe here, my calculate area method is returning the calculated computed value. So I need to hold that here. It is returning some result. I need to hold that. And if you observe, the calculate area method is returning what data type value? It's integer. It means calculate area is returning an integer and the container should also be of type integer. Okay. Now I got that calculated area here. Now I need to display it, right? So I'm going to display here. Display the result. Yes. I just paste the SOP statement. The area of the rectangle is nothing but this result. So I'll copy this and paste. I'm done. Now I go change to rectangle demo 2, copy this, save it, paste here. Do observe here, my Notepad++ is intelligent. I changed the language setting to Java. So here save as type is Java. Else you have to give here dot and an extension Java. So say go to command prompt. Here execute this new program rectangle demo 2. What I am doing is I am just pressing an up arrow. Yeah, Java C rectangle demo 1. Let me change it to demo 2. Yes. Hit an enter key. If there are any errors, it will show. Else, no. So no compilation error. So Java rectangle demo 2. Execution. Hit an enter key. The area of the rectangle is 80 we got here. Yes. So this is how we execute when a method is having a return type. So my calculate area method will process the area of the rectangle and we hold that in a container named area, and I am returning that container from my method, and whatever the value returned by calculate area, I am holding it here. And if you want, you can process it. What I am doing is I am just displaying it. Got it? So these are the various ways of calculating the area of the rectangle. What I am doing is in my next program, I am writing the same program, but here what I am going to do is I am going to create a rectangle class. So let me copy. So I am copying this and make changes. Let me change to language JJava so that the syntax get highlighted. So what my intention is, I am writing here. Write a Java program to calculate the area of the rectangle, and here. So what I am doing is create a rectangle class, and construct an object for the rectangle class. So I am constructing an object for the rectangle class, access the members of the rectangle object. So these are the things I am going to do. So what I will do is I am going to change this name to rectangle. Yes, rectangle. And in my rectangle class, generally my rectangle class, what it has is, observe there, I'm just tapping it down. So here goes. Rectangle class has members, length and breadth. So I am declaring, so if you observe here, length and breadth, I am using it. I am cutting this, pasting. Observe, my rectangle class has length and breadth now. So declaration went successfully. Then goes calculating area. So my calculating area is this. Cut, paste. My rectangle class has members like variables and methods. And my rectangle class begins here, closes somewhere down. I don't want this main method. Observe carefully. My rectangle class begins here. Let me organize this code. And I don't want any static as of now. Yes. Observe that my rectangle class opens and closes there. In my rectangle class, so I already told you, right? In a class we label members of the class. The members of the class are length and breadth. Those are variables, and calculate area is method. So I will comment. Okay. Done. So calculate area. So what I'll do is, as of now, I will use void. Void. It means here I don't need a return statement. Instead, I'll write system.out.println printl. Here goes the area of the rectangle is nothing but this area. So I have written a rectangle class. Now my intention is construct an object for this rectangle class. So where do we construct an object for this? To construct an object, what I am doing is I am creating a test drive class. Test drive class. So what it does is it will create an object for the above rectangle class, and we access members using the object. So I am writing another class here, class test drive rectangle. Test drive rectangle. And here this is the actual class or real class. This is a test drive class. My test drive class has a main method, public static void main string args. So my main method opens, closes. Yes, here goes the code. In this code, what I am doing is now construct an object for the above real class. My real class name. So please revise your object creation statement, which we discussed in second session. So rectangle, the class name, ANGL, rectangle class name, then followed by reference variable name, rect object equals to new operator, then rectangle. So this is let me add the spelling, object. Yes. Class name followed by the reference variable name, new rectangle. So this is how we create an object for the above rectangle class. Now access the members of the real class. So how do we do that? By using this remote control, copy this remote control, paste and a dot operator, then use method calculate area. Paste. Done. I'm done. So that's it. So here in my program there are two classes. One is real class, rectangle class. Observe that I just adjusted the piece of code to see in one window. So here you can see class rectangle. This is the real class with length and breadth and a member, calculate area to calculate the area, So we calculate the area, length and breadth, length into breadth, put the result here, display the result. Then what I'm doing is I'm writing a test drive class with the main method, create an object for the above class, and access the member using a dot operator. So let me execute this. If you observe here, there are two classes and I need to save this program. So when there are multiple classes in one program, you need to choose the class name as your program name. So the class name which has main method in it. So out of rectangle class, test drive rectangle is the class having main method. So you need to choose the class with main method in it. So I have copied the program name, class name, save it, paste here, save this. Now go compile this. So Java C, and I am pasting the program. Yes, test drive rectangle dot Java. Observe that. I am going to compile the program, hit an enter key. Something, there is a compilation error at line number 20. Observe. Let me show you. Test drive rectangle in this class, in this program, at line number 20, semicolon expected. I missed a semicolon somewhere at line number 20. You can see here this is line number 20. Yes, here I skipped semicolon. Every statement is terminated by semicolon in Java. So I added the semicolon, save this, back to command prompt, recompile. I have typed the upper arrow, then enter. Yes, no compilation errors. Then I go execute it. Another up arrow, then I'm removing this .java extension and Java. It is Java space. I'm hitting an enter key now. Yes, here we got the result. Yes, the area of the tackle is 80. So I will show you how the execution goes. The sequence of steps. So whenever you execute test drive rectangle here, JVM launches into main method. So the program execution begins from main method. Main method, the first statement, rectangle object is being constructed. So JVM will look for rectangle class in this file. So there is a rectangle class, so it will create an object for that. We have a remote control. Now using that remote control and a dot operator, I am pressing a button, calculate area button, and what happens is JVM will get into rectangle class calculate area method, which is highlighted here, and starts executing this right from here to here. What happens? So here it goes. So area, so length and breadth. So length, you can see length. Okay, it gets a value 10 here from here. Breadth, it gets value 8 from here. So 10 times 8, the result is stored here. Then that result is being displayed here. So when we execute, that is invoke this method, this computation happens and then displays the result. The same result is seen on this command prompt. So that is how we can write a rectangle class, construct the object for the rectangle class, and access that using a dot operator. Is it okay? Do you have any doubts as of now? Because I am going to modify the same program, implementing various safety mechanisms to execute the Java program.
Yeah, it is fine.
Okay, fine. Then I am moving ahead, modifying the same piece of code with little more changes.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I copy this program, then paste here. Let me change language J for Java. Just now, if you observe, I have length and breadth here. My intention is I would like to change the length and breadth parameters. Better say the state of the rectangle object, because I told you, right, the members in the class, the variables represent the state of the object and this method represents the behavior, that is calculating the area. So here I would like to change the state of the rectangle object. So length to 12, breadth to 10. Observe there, to make these changes, what I have done is I entered into this rectangle class, then accessed this length, I modified to 12, breadth to 10. So it means that I have to get into this rectangle class and change the state manually. So before getting into changing the state manually, so what I'll do is I'll write here what changes I am making in this program. First of all, initializing this length and breadth to values is not recommended. It is recommended to do this stuff of initialization in method. So what I am doing is the state of the object is given in a method. So here I am directly giving the value of the state here, directly giving. Instead what I am going to do is I am going to write a method to give value to this length and breadth. So what I'll do is I'm going to change this now. Observe carefully. Yes. So my length and breadth as of now they are empty. Now we need to set that length. Sorry. Set the length. And set the breadth. So I'm going to set the length. How? By using a method here. Set the length using a method. Of course, setting the breadth also using a method. So set length, control Z, set length. I have written a method. As of now, I mention it as void set length. In this set length method, I am going to assign value to my length. Similarly, set breadth. Observe void set breadth equals to 10. I'm done. So I'm done. Whatever the changes mentioned here, let me explain. In my previous program, I initialized the length and breadth directly here, which is not recommended actually. Recommended is whatever the values you are assigning to length and breadth, whatever the state you are giving to your object, please do it in separate methods. Yes, I am doing here. And rest of the piece of code, no changes. I'm going to execute this program. So before execution, I already have a test drive rectangle in the same folder. So I change it to test drive rectangle 1. That's it. Now I copy this piece of title, save this, give here, paste, execute it. Observe carefully. I am executing it. Java C, test drive rectangle 1 it is. Test drive rectangle 1. Can you guess the result? Of course, there are no compilation errors and execution goes here. Test drive rectangle 1. Yes. Can you guess the result now? And let me know what is the
120.
120. Any other guesses?
What?
Any other guesses?
We haven't called the method set length and set depth, so will it be null then?
Okay, yes. Good observation. Good observation. So as of now, Ananya, observe here, I am executing the program and it gives the result 0. The area of the rectangle is 0. I'll explain you the reason why. So if you observe here, let me explain you the sequence of execution and you can easily trace out why it is giving 0. And here, as I already told you, when you execute the program, JVM launches here into main method, goes creating an object for this. Yeah, it looks, is there a rectangle class here in the program? Yes, it has. It has class open brace, close brace, yeah, done. It will create an object. Then immediately in this object, what I am doing is I am pressing the button calculate area. So what happens is calculate area button is being pressed and this piece of code gets executed. So when this piece of code gets executed, observe there length. What is the value of length? This length refers to variable here, this variable here, declaration. So what is the value of length at this line? Did I give any value over there? No. No. So when I don't give any value to a variable of data type integer, in last session I told you that the default value for the data types are given by JVM when we don't assign. It means JVM is giving 0 over there, right? And breadth also, as we didn't give any value, it gives 0. So 0 times 0, result is 0. 0 times 0, the result is 0. So I told you that I'm going to calculate the area 12 length and 10 breadth. But the result is not shown here as 120. Instead it is showing 0 because here in this execution the length and breadth which it is considering are these two things and these two things have zeros. Now the thing is I told you in my last session that we are using this rectangle object remote control and we are pressing the buttons. So I directly pressed the button calculate area here and it is showing zeros. The thing is, I have mentioned two methods here. Those two methods are setting length and setting breadth. I need to access them first. Before calculating area, I need to set the length, set the breadth, then calculate area. So my object, rect object, dot set length. It means now you are pressing the button, set length button on remote control, which will set length to 12. Similarly, on rect object, same remote control dot set breadth. set breadth. Now my JVM will set 10 to the breadth. So these are the two things to be noticed. After setting length and setting breadth, then I am calculating the area. I modified the piece of code, compile the program, save the program, go recompile. Java C. Observe carefully, Java C, no errors, and execution. Here is the effect. Now we got the area of the rectangle as 120. So let me explain you the sequence of steps. As usual, JVM launches into main method, create an object for this, then here goes. Rectangle object dot set length. So what happens? My set length method now gets executed and 12 value is given to length. You can see as of now here there were zeros and those zeros are replaced by 12 now, and set object set breadth. Set breadth is giving 10 for my breadth. Then calculate area. Then calculate area, that is length. So length got a value 12 from the set length, and breadth got a value 10 from this set breadth. So 12 times 10, 120 we get here, and that 120 is being displayed. So are you able to figure out how we are getting length and breadth that are mentioned in methods? That is, we need to press the button corresponding to set length and set breadth before you calculate the area. If you are not pressing the button set length, set breadth, then calculate area is going to consider JVM's default values for length and breadth. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Then, so what I'm going to do is, I am going to modify the same program. So I'll copy this, paste here, change language Java. So my purpose is the state of the object is given in a method, and so my intention is, in this program I would like to change the length to 15 and the breadth to 12. So this is my intention. If you observe here, to make these changes, I am entering manually into my rectangle class, here getting into set length, here I am making changes, which means I have to hard code the values over there, so manually. So instead, is there any mechanism where I can pass this length, the new values, and pass this new breadth to these methods? We can do that using parameterized methods. Yes, parameterized methods. So observe there in this piece of code, here set length, what I am doing is set length. I am going to pass 15 here and 10 here. Yeah, sorry, 12. So to pass these values, I need to make changes to set length and set breadth accordingly. I am passing an integer value here. So to my set length, I need to mention a parameter here, int length. And whatever the length I am passing here, so what I'll do is, as of now, I will say int L. And here, whatever the L value we get, I am passing to this length. Similarly for set breadth, int B for breadth. And whatever the B I am getting, I am passing to. Small changes I made to my methods. I just made zero parameterized method to some parameterized. So there were no parameters previously to my set length, set breadth. Now I introduced one parameter. Here goes set breadth 1. Now, so these are the two changes, that's it. Mentioning a parameter to set length and set breadth. Now what I'll do is I change this rectangle, that is change the rectangle to 2 because I already have one. Copy this, save this, paste here, save this, and compile. Java C test drive rectangle 2. Observe, no compilation errors. Go for execution now. Test drive rectangle 2 it is. Yes, the area of the rectangle 15 times 12 is of course 180. We got the result. We got the result. Now if you observe, if I want to make changes to my length and breadth, easy. What I'll do is I can make changes here. 20 length and breadth 15. Yes, observe that. So here, if you want to make changes to your length and breadth, am I entering into rectangle class in this example? No. No need to enter into my rectangle class. And I can use set length and set breadth, these parameter to set new values. So I save this, recompile, show you the new area that is 20 times 15. So here goes. Yes. So let me explain the sequence of execution again. Whenever you compile, JVM launches into main method, constructs an object for this. Then by using this object, set length. What set length? It takes 20. It takes 20. Got here 20. That 20 is being passed to length. Now my length got 20. Similarly, set breadth. So it takes 15 value, this 15, then goes into this set breadth 15, got this 15 here, that 15 is being passed to breadth. Then calculate area. My calculate area length times breadth, so it gets 20, 50, 20 times 15, the result is 300. So now whenever you want to make changes to length and breadth, you don't need to enter into this rectangle class. This is safe mechanism. Generally, you should not allow the programmer to get into the class then make changes. Instead, you need to adopt some mechanism where you can pass these values to these methods, and these methods are going to set length and set breadth. So here if you observe, encapsulation is being happening. That is, encapsulation is nothing but in my class the state is being controlled by methods. So the state of the object is being controlled by methods. And here this program is not allowing the programmer to access the length and breadth directly. Instead, it is facilitating the programmer to make changes to the length and breadth with the help of setter methods. Set length, set breadth. Set length, set breadth. So here goes. So we just provide new values whenever required to calculate the area of the rectangle, and this set length, set breadth will facilitate the programmer to pass new values. Is that okay?
Yeah, I've got a question here.
Yeah.
There are two classes, right? Here, one is test drive rectangle 2, and the other is
Rectangle. Right.
Yeah. So when we compile the file,
Ah,
we have two classes generated, right? Two dot
look here when you
Java.
compile. Yes. So here you can
Yeah,
see
two dot class
rectangle
file.
demo, one rectangle dot class and rectangle demo. So test drive
Yeah.
rectangle demo. Yes.
Okay. Now we haven't defined any of these two classes as public.
Uh-huh.
So somewhere I read that in a file we can define at most one class public. So is it necessary to
Yes. There is a
set?
rule. There is a rule. When you go to IDE, that is Eclipse, it will automatically highlight. So the thing is, there is another rule. When you are writing multiple classes in the same file,
Mhm.
and I told you that we will be giving the program name as class name, which contains main method. Here, another
Okay.
rule is this class should be public. This is the rule.
Whichever contains the main.
Yes, whichever contains main method should be public. Suppose if you mention this class also public, assume you mention,
Yeah.
then in that case, JVM will demand you to write this rectangle class in a separate file, because
Uh-huh.
in one file there will be only one public class. So when you write like this, then it will demand you to, it will throw
So
an
this.
error
Yeah.
and ask you to write this rectangle class in a separate file. Okay?
Okay. Sure. So here, yeah. So we did not define any of these two classes as public. So is that allowed? I mean, does it because we have written the main method inside it? So does it automatically assign the public modifier to it?
No. It's not like a,
Okay.
it's automatically assigned public. So no, when you are talking about mentioning public, then it should be having. So here I am not talking about anything about
Class.
public as of now. It means my classes are having a default
Uh-huh.
access specifier as of now. Default, I mean,
Uh-huh.
there are four types of access specifiers, that is public, private, protected, and default. Whenever you don't qualify an access specifier to your component, then it is having a default access specifier. And here also it is having,
Okay. So even if it is default, we don't still
if it is default, then you don't need to write them
still
in
wish we are
separate.
able to run that from the
Yes,
main
yes, yes,
from the
yes.
command prompt.
Yes, we are able to from command prompt.
Okay.
As there is no qualifier, then you don't need to write them in separate class. You will see this error when we are working with the IDE. It will highlight definitely. There should not be multiple public classes in the same file. It will highlight. You will see that soon. Because I am not using IDE as of now, because I want you to make comfortable executing basic programs, understand how to write a program. Hopefully, we will be starting using IDE from our next sessions. Okay,
Okay.
fine then. Uh,
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Ananya, has Mehboob joined with you, or he could not join?
No, he has not joined.
Okay.
So it's only me.
Fine. Then the thing is, I'll share this recording with you, and is
Okay.
there a possibility that you can speak to other three members of your team, because they could not join yesterday, day before yesterday, and we are getting uh, more deeper into the Java sessions, so it would be difficult to them to follow them.
Okay. Sure.
please
Yeah.
get in touch with them if possible and try. I already shared these videos and on YouTube I'm going to upload. I believe you have got that link, right?
Yeah.
So you can access this recording also in the same channel. Okay,
Okay, sure.
you can
Okay.
subscribe it.
Thank you, Amir.
Welcome. For now, I am going to wind up this session, and we shall continue tomorrow because I can extend for another 20 minutes, but your other team members may lose. So for now, I am just winding up session, or else we'll go till another 20 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Subrata,
That's fine.
we'll see
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. Bye,
Okay.
Ahmed.
Bye bye. Take care.
All right.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
See you tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.